Welcome to my video, how to plan your life in a 7-step process. Let's go. In this video, I'm gonna give you 7 steps to planning your life, and not just any life, a life that you actually love. One of my friends / colleagues / clients, Debbie Peterson, she's the author of a book called Getting to Clarity, and she specializes in this type of thing, how to plan your life. She says that most of us spend more time planning our summer vacations than we do our actual lives. And when I thought about that, I thought, yeah, that was me for a lot of years. I never planned my life. It just kind of happened to me. And I would spend a whole bunch of time planning my vacations. So I invite you to consider, if that's you, then this video is perfect for you right now. And the solution is to create a systemized process. You know me, you know that I love systemized processes and I love creating systems for everything. So here we go. So the first of the 7 steps is you've got to set aside time. Planning your life is not something you want to do on your lunch break. It's not something you want to do in an afternoon. It's something that you want to do deeply with a good amount of time and also ongoingly, regularly, so that you can keep updating your plan. My advice is, if you've never done this before, or even if you have, but you haven't done it in a while, to set aside at least a long weekend, about 3 days, to give yourself the opportunity to dive deep into who you really are, what you really want, and what you want to create in your life. So that's step 1. Set aside the time, put it in your calendar, block everybody else out, maybe even go somewhere so that you can get away from the hustle and bustle and all the pressures of your daily life. The second step is to look at the key areas of life. No matter who you are, if you're a human, which you must be, I'm guessing, because you're watching this video, no matter who you are, there are certain things that as a human we have in common that matter to us. These are the key areas of life. So you'll want to, in your 3-day journey of self-development and developing your dream life, you'll want to consider these key areas, and I'll share them with you what they are. The first area is health and well-being. You've got to have some sort of plan for your life force energy. If you're not taking good care of yourself, none of the areas of your life are going to do all that well. Every single area of your life is related back to your health and your own well-being, so your physical well-being. The second area is family and social relationships. So this is the area of your connection to others, right? You want to look at, how are your relationships with others doing? Do you feel energy rich? Are they supporting you? Are they helping you? Or are they dragging you down, holding you back? Another really obvious area, especially for me in the work that I do, is your career. Is what you're doing on a daily basis, is what you're devoting your time to, is the way that you're making money fulfilling? Is it joyful? Is it energy rich? Is it aligned with your best self, with your highest self, with your gifts, your strengths, your weaknesses, and your dislikes? Or are you finding yourself doing things that you really don't like to do and hate to do even? Another area is fun and play. Now, this often gets overlooked, especially in our culture where it's all about making money and getting ahead. We can forget how important it is to play and have fun. These are your hobbies, these are sports, these are knitting or crocheting or painting or race car driving or whatever it is that you do that brings you joy and that you're not doing to make a buck. You might want to consider art and creative things like painting or singing, or the things that you can do that are also maybe fun and playful, but they're the way that you contribute to the world something beautiful. There's also spirituality. By the way, spirituality, I don't necessarily mean religion. For some of us, spirituality is the same as religion. They're connected, and for some of us, it's not. So I just invite you to explore what it looks like to have a connection with something higher, something greater than just yourself. And then finally, another area of life is contribution. How are you giving back? How are you helping? How are you adding value to the world and helping to uplift others? So these are the main areas that you'll want to take a look at and see how you're doing. So you might want to grade yourself or rate yourself, like say on a scale of 1 to 10, and you'll notice, let's say you're, all these areas are like a 9 or an 8 or doing pretty well, and then you've got one area like career that's a 2. You'll find that oftentimes that one thing that's low will be starting to drag everything else down, because if you're always complaining about your career, for example, maybe you're boring your family or bothering them with your constant complaints. All these are integrated, they're interrelated, but it helps to kind of spread them out and look at each one individually and see how you're doing. Now, the third thing that you'll want to do is, once you've got a sense of where you are right now, is develop a vision for each of these areas. Develop a vision for what it would look like to be firing on all cylinders in that particular area. So write out a vision. Can sound like, this is how I recommend my clients do it, this is how I do it, is write a paragraph about each one as if you were living it in its ideal form. So for example, back to that career example, you might write, I am loving every day of going to work. I only work on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and I get Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays off. And whenever I do work, I have a beautiful drive through the mountains to get to my office. And my office has windows, and I have a beautiful view, and I'm working with amazing and smart and incredible people that I really admire and respect. Or whatever it is, right? So writing down the vision as if you were in it, in the present moment, writing it from the present tense, first person perspective. The fourth thing is to create a representation of the vision. So you might have heard a lot of people talk about making a vision board. Yes, a vision board would be a visual representation of that vision, where you would take magazine pictures or paintings or printouts or whatever and add them into a visual representation of this vision that you've developed in each area. So that's one way to do it, and then place it somewhere that you can see it on a regular basis so that it can inspire you. Now, I happen to know somebody who's behind the camera here today, and he has developed a representation of his vision, but it's not a vision board. It's a spreadsheet, and that excites him because he's a spreadsheet kind of guy. So whatever works for you to help you stay present to that vision so that you don't lose it, so you don't forget it. So your spreadsheet might have all the areas of your life, all the goals that you've set, all the metrics that you're tracking. However it looks for you, just make sure that you have some sort of way of representing this vision for yourself that is inspiring and keeps pulling you forward. So before I move into points 5, 6, and 7, I do want to invite you to like this video, subscribe to my channel, post a comment below, and hit that alert button, that notification button, so that you'll find out whenever I drop a new video. Once you have this visual representation or spreadsheet representation or whatever it is of your vision, I recommend getting some support. Now, by the way, you can get support earlier in this process, and in fact, I provide that kind of support to my clients from the very beginning. I help them set aside the time and do all this work. If you're doing this by yourself at this point, it might be a good time to enroll some people into helping you achieve your vision and turn your life into something more joyful and amazing. And so the way you might do that is with either a mentor or a group of peers that you gather together, a peer or group of peers. What I recommend is having accountability. Having people that are checking in with you on a regular basis, who are asking you, hey, how's that book you're writing? Or how's that project going? Did you get a new job yet? And from a place of encouragement and excitement and like an engine driving you forward, rather than someone who's like admonishing you for what you haven't done. So, having a mentor, having some peers, having an accountability group or something like that, so that you are supported in this process. Number 6, as you go along the way, you're gonna hit bumps in the road. That is just what happens. And so my recommendation there is to constantly be developing yourself. That is a big number 6. I do have many videos of what that looks like, but essentially what it means is to use every opportunity, every breakdown, every disappointment, every regret, and turn it into an opportunity for growth and expansion. I personally do a ton of self-help reading. I watch a ton of videos like what you're watching right now. I'm always seeking to learn and grow from the areas of my life where I'm not doing so great. And so I use, this process is something you can do on an ongoing basis. You can keep checking in so that you can identify new areas to develop yourself. And then finally, you may want to create some sort of structure for yourself. Now, for example, the structure that I've given myself is every week I check in with my KPIs. I have a list of goals and projects that I'm working on, and every week I track where I stand in every single one of these different goal areas. Now I track both personal goals and professional goals in my KPIs, key performance indicators. And I keep a spreadsheet too, by the way, and that's the structure that I use to stay on top of my progress. A structure can also help you organize your vision, organize your life in time. I have a mentor who used to say, if there isn't a now in which to do something, it's not going to get done. And what she meant was that you need to set aside a time, a now, within which to do the things that you want to do. And she also used to say, if it isn't in your calendar, it doesn't exist. Now, you may not have the same relationship to your calendar that I do. I love my calendar. But you might want to consider creating a great relationship with a calendar, because that's a way to put in time everything that you really want to do and set aside time for the things that really matter. If you are a coach, a consultant, speaker, expert of some kind, and you're looking to grow yourself so that you can grow your business, let's connect. I have a variety of programs to help you break through to the next level of your business and your life. You can find me at superstaractivator.com/go. And if you go to that page, you can set up a discovery call with me in person on Zoom live, and you can do that for free. I'll see you there.